body is false or temporary, that is mentioned. But one tree does not depend on another tree. One tree is cut down, then the others are cut down. Therefore, the forest is neither a combination nor a transformation of trees. Okay. Professing says all Lord's energies are simultaneously existing, one must understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although He is everything, He is not present in everything. Although He is everything, but He is not present in everything. Lord must be worshipped in His original form as Krishna. He can also present Himself in any one of His various expanded entities. When you worship the deity of the Lord and temple, the deity appears to stone or wood. Now, because the Supreme Lord does not have a material body, He is not stone or wood. Yet, stone and wood are non-different from Him. Thus, by worshipping, the desire and desire. So, this is Achintya, Veda philosophy. That is mentioned. Okay, next 60th verse. World is false. Body was false. Now world is false or temporary. That is mentioned.
Because the body is formed of the five elements, it cannot exist without the subtle sense objects. Therefore, since the body is false, the sense objects are also naturally false or temporary.
Okay, so the world is also, body is made of that which is temporary. So the world is also false or temporary. So the question may be raised, if the body and world are false, how does the perception that elements are real raise? How do we perceive, oh, this is reality? I am seeing some object, I am perceiving, hearing some sound. So how that is perceived, elements as reality arises. So that is answered in text number 61.
When a substance and its parts are separated, the acceptance of similarity between one and the other is called illusion. While dreaming, one creates a separation between the existences called wakefulness and sleep. It is in such a state of mind that the regulative principles of the scriptures, consisting of injunctions and prohibitions, are recommended.
So the prescriptions and prohibitions in scripture are wakeful and sleep states in a dream. So that is mentioned. So therefore it is due to illusion. Dualities are due to illusion. We see dualities in this world. Oh, this is real, this is imaginary, or this is giving happiness, this is giving misery. So that is out of illusion. So that is mentioned in this verse. Prabhupada is saying that temporary or unreal material world is a reflection of eternal real spiritual world. Material body is false or temporary, but the Supreme Lord's spiritual body is eternal. Although the water in a mirage is false, but water exists outside the desert. Similarly, nothing real permanent is in the material world, but reality is in the spiritual world. The Lord's form and His abode, Goloka and Vaikuntha are eternal realities. Okay, so that is basically Prabhupada is bringing it down to Vaishnava way of understanding. If you say this world is false or temporary, there must be something eternal which is existing, which this world is a reflection of. So we are trying to separate from this to connect to that eternal reality or the eternal bhava. So that is how Vaishnava is trying. Now 60 to 65 is talking about philosophy of Advaita, three types of oneness. Okay, we want to be in Advaita school, no? We are in which school? Advaita school or Advaita school? Change the Veda. Okay, they are bringing a third time, no problem. 62.
After considering the oneness of existence, activity and paraphernalia, and after realizing the self to be different from all actions and reactions, the mental speculator, Muni, according to his own realization, gives up the three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep.
So 162 is mentioning how a Muni realizes himself. He gives up three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep. In this world, wakefulness is also dream only, and dreaming is dream within dream. Wakefulness is also dream, and Dreaming is dream within dream. So like that. Because this world is also, we are just assuming identities. Like we assume identities in sleep state, and we are going to certain dream, and we are assuming, oh, I am this person, that way. Similarly, we have assumed identities, which is also dream, even though it's wakeful. So this gives up these identities. And following three types of oneness or non-difference, that is mentioned in this. Okay, Prabhupada is talking the three words Bhava Advaita, Kriya Advaita, and Dravya Advaita are explained in the following verses. So 63rd is talking about Bhava Advaita, 64 is talking about Kriya Advaita, and 65 is talking about Dravya Advaita. Prabhupada is saying they are being talked. However, one has to give up all non-duality of philosophical life in material world and come to actual reality of life in the spiritual world in order to attain perfection. So that is mentioned. So what is Bhava Advaita is mentioned in 63rd verse.
When one understands that result, and God are one, and that duality is ultimately unreal, like the idea that the threads of a globe are different from the globe, one reaches the conception of oneness called.
So Bhava Advaitam Tad Uchyate. Bhava Advaita means oneness of conception. Bhav. Conception is Advaita, oneness. So this Bhava Advaita means seeing the effect and cause as one. Kriya, Karana, Vastu, Ekya. Kriya, Karana, Vastu, Ekya. They are one. What is cause and what is the effect are one. Brahman is the cause and Brahman is the effect. Understood? Brahman is the cause and Brahman is the effect. Like threads being related to a cloth. Thread is the cause which makes the cloth. Yeah, so that is what makes the cloth. So that is mentioned as thread. So thread is the cause and effect is when you weave. When you weave the thread, it will become a cloth. So that effect is cloth. But when one sees like threads being related to cause, the duality is ultimately unreal. So that is Bhava Advaita. See, okay, it started with thing of this object and transformed to another thing. But in actuality, it is conception. Only the name changes or our viewpoint changes, but it is same only. So that is Bhava Advaita. Now next is Kriya Advaita.
My dear Yudhishthir, Partha, and all the activities one performs with his mind, words, and body are dedicated directly to the service of the Supreme Personality of God. One reaches oneness of activities called Kriya Advaita.
Okay, so that is when one's activities, Kriya Advaita, oneness in activities. So one may do many activities with one's mind, words and body. Mano, Vak, Tanu, Dhi. It's mentioned Mano, mind, Vak is one's words and Tanu is referring to one's body. So when one does that, Sarva Karma Samarpana. Sarva Karma Samarpana means all activities are related or dedicated or they are Samarpanam to the offered to the Supreme Lord. So one reaches oneness of activities. That is Kriya Advaita. Prabhupada is quoting here Karoshi Yadashnashi Yad Yuvoshi Gadashi Yad Tapashyasi Pamte Tat Purusham Madarpanam. So they give Karma Samarpanam and Madarpanam. Prabhupada remembered that as Madarpanam. Prabhupada says on the transcendental platform they are one. There is no difference between chanting of Krishna consciousness and working for Krishna consciousness. But we must be guided by spiritual master about this oneness. We should not manufacture our own oneness. Spiritual masters' guidance will determine oneness, not our own imagination, speculation, like people do in this world. Not Mayavadi. Oneness of activities, oneness of conception. That is mentioned. Text number 65.
When the ultimate goal and interest of one's self, one's wife, one's children, one's relatives, and all other embodied living beings is one, this is called Dravya Dvaita, the oneness of interest.
So Dravya is the oneness of objects or interest. Dravya. Dravya means objects or interest. This is the Dravya. So that is Advaita, oneness. The attained when the ultimate goal is Swartha Kamayoga for oneself, wife, children, relatives, and all other embodied beings, living beings is one. So what that means is Dravya Advaitam. I don't see this person or this object as for my enjoyment. From Vaishnava perspective, what it's mentioning is, I see the connection between that person as connected to Lord and therefore his satisfaction or his enjoyment. So if one sees with that vision, then one reaches Dravya Advaita. So that is mentioned. It's attained when ultimate goal, the actual interest of all living entities is to go back to God. Prabhupada says. The actual interest of all living entities, indeed the goal of life is to return home back to God. This is the interest of oneself, wife, one's children, one's disciples, and one's friends, relatives, countrymen, all humanity. So that is Dravya. Nate Vidu Swarth Gati Vishnu. That one understands. Correction. Not so. People think, like in this world, generally we say, na, if you have direct connection, then it's easy. Things can work fast, or I have a direct connection link. But in spiritual life, when you have indirect connection, that is more conducive, more refreshing, more fulfilling. So in this world, I feel if I can have a relationship with wife or children or mother or father, then that will be fulfilling too. But spiritual aspect of Vaishnavism says, rather than having direct relationship, you see, oh, I am related to Krishna. This person is also related to Krishna, and in that way, when I have exchange, that is more wholesome or fulfilling. So that is what is mentioned as Dravya Advaita.
This, what is the difference here between Kriya Advaita and Asakta Advaita? Kriya Advaita means everything dedicated to God. Done by just mind, heart, or body. Everything is dedicated to God. That is both things. Now, what is the difference between Asakta Advaita and Asakta Advaita? Also,
say here, if you see, if you just go by the word itself, the shloka itself, so it says what? It says 64. सर्व कर्म समर्पण. अभी किसको सर्व कर्म समर्पण कर रहे हो वो नहीं लिखा ना, कहीं लिखा है?
ट्रांसलेशन में प्रॉपर तो लिखा
है. प्रॉपर तो प्रॉपर will always give the ultimate thing ना. सर्व कर्म समर्पणम. So for Advaitavadi, he will do it to Brahman. For a devotee, he is doing to the Supreme Lord. That's the difference. Because it's nowhere is mentioned. Yet Brahmani Pare Sakshat. Brahmani is written. Brahmani. Brahmani can be written, taken as Brahman.
misunderstood.
Jnanis may take it in that way. That's what their goal is. Attraction is. Like that. That's the difference. Prabhupada is always giving no scope for, we having to judge or understand what is what. He is giving the ultimate understanding. Okay, then text number 66, summary of the conduct of ashramas is mentioned.
In normal conditions, in the absence of danger, O king, man should perform prescribed activity according to his status of life, with the things, endeavors, process, and living place that are not forbidden for him, and not by any other means.
So, what is the conduct of all ashramas? In the absence of danger, one must perform his prescribed duties according to his status of life, with the things, endeavors, process, and place that are not forbidden for him, and not by any other means. So, if you see in Varnashram principle, again and again this is highlighted, that better to perform one's own duty than others, be honest, be satisfied with whatever you have. So that will bring in a feeling of being santushta, satisfaction. Because what generally we see others and we feel, I want position like him, I want facilities like him, this and that. But Varnashram ultimately is instilling what? Bringing, rather than feeling, oh, I want more enjoyment, I want to be like this, I want his lifestyle. You get into a mood of satisfaction. And when one is satisfied, then only he can think of higher principles of life. So Varnashram is trying to bring a person to mode of goodness, satisfaction. Be satisfied with what? Goodness, sign of goodness, or sign of goodness is satisfaction. So that is, again, here also is mentioned. When there is some emergency, apart from that, one should be doing one's activities as per the things available and diverse processes. Prabhupada is quoting Atha Mungal Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhag se Swanushritasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshna. Prabhupada says everyone should act according to his occupational duties just to please the Supreme Personality of God. Then everyone will be happy. Samsiddhir Haritoshna. 67, the conclusion is mentioned.
O king, one should perform his occupational duty according to this instruction, as well as other instructions even in the Vedic literature, just to remain a devotee of Lord Krishna. Thus, even while at home, one will be able to reach the destination.
So when one does occupational duty according to this instruction, then worships Krishna. Tad bhakti dhan, tad bhakti bhav, who renders devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. So one has to perform Varnashram at the same time worship. So if he does both, one can attain Krishna even while remaining at home. So one does not have to leave home. He can perform his occupational duties but keep center as Krishna. So then he can achieve the supreme destination. Prabhupada is quoting again, one may be in any position, Striya, Vaishya, Stata, Shudra, any Papa, anything, but he can achieve Param Gati, ultimate destination. That is mentioned. Prabhupada says it is not that only sannyasis, Vanaprasthas and brahmacharis can reach Krishna. A grihastha, householder, can also reach Krishna, provided he becomes a pure devotee without material desire. So that is mentioned. And 67th verse. So the link is previously, if you remember, in 14th chapter beginning, Yudhishthira Maharaj had said, "Oh, I am like a householder, ignorant of spiritual life." But one should not think that Pandavas are amongst the regular householders. Narada Muni encouraged Yudhishthira by saying, "You are already on the safe side because you, along with your entire family, have become a pure devotee of Krishna." So he is giving example of Pandavas only. The next verse. Yata hi yuyam nripadeva dustyaja apat ganat uttaratmana prabho yatpadapam keruvasevaya bhavan
because of your service to your Supreme Lord, all of you Pandavas defeated the greatest dangers posed by numerous kings and demigods. By serving the lotus feet of Krishna, you conquered great enemies who were like elephants, and thus you collected ingredients for sacrifice. By His grace, may you be delivered from material involvement.
So, यथा ही यूयम, you, all of you, Pandavas, Nipa, Deva Dusteja, all these great kings, demigods, Dusteja, they were insurmountable. Apad Gana, they were like dangerous condition. Apad, we say na apad kal there. So apad Gana, Uttara Atmanaha Prabhu, but you could do what? You escaped. Uttara Atmanaha Prabhu. Why? Yat Pada Pankheruha Sevaya. Because you worship Yat Pada, lotus feet of the Bhagavan yourself. And you are like Diggaja, the most powerful enemies who are like elephants. And thus you collected ingredients for sacrifice. So you defeated great conquerors who are like elephants. So that is the, for a devotee, however big thing he may do or achievement he may have, he always think it is because of the mercy of the Lord. It is just Lord's mercy. So Pandava, Yudhishthira Maharaj himself put him, he was asking as if I am a Grahamedi, he crossed him, but he was actually, he and Pandavas, their whole family was great devotees, and by Krishna's mercy they could achieve insurmountable things in life. Prabhupada says, Pandavas, they are a practical example of how to live in security and safety by the grace of Krishna. Security and safety. Everyone should follow the example of Pandavas, who showed how to be saved by the grace of Krishna. Our Krishna Consciousness movement is indeed to teach how everyone can live peacefully in this material world and at the end of life return home back to Godhead. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Last line Prabhupada again says, a pure devotee without embarrassing himself by trying for elevation in so many ways stays in the safest position as servant of Krishna, and this his life is eternally safe without a doubt. Just see the word, choice of words Prabhupada is saying, without embarrassing himself. In this world, nobody wants to be embarrassed in front of others. If we do something, say something, and which is not appropriate, then we feel ashamed that he heard me or he saw me or this or that, doing something which is not appropriate. So then Prabhupada is saying, without embarrassing himself. Because in this world, whatever you try to raise your position, it's an embarrassment. It will not lead to any success. It is like 5 paise ka circus. Get a lot of eating, but everyone is showing that बहुत मजा है, आप भी देखिए. So in this world it is like that. But why to put yourself in saying embarrassing situation? Charana ka? Same. In Bengali same. हिंदी में होता है खानमाला के 10 पैसे का सर्कस. अभी 10 पैसे का नहीं, अभी 400 रुपये का 50. But safest position is to be servant of Krishna. Safest position, again safest, not safe, safest. It's the क्या बोलते हैं degrees, superlative degree Prabhupada as the servant of Krishna. And thus the life is eternally safe. Safest position, life is eternally safe, without a doubt. So Prabhupada is, safest position, then eternally safe, and then without a doubt. Eternally is also using, without a doubt is also using. Matlab, so many questions Prabhupada is putting, and don't think that you'll get lost by becoming or accepting the position of servant of Krishna. Okay, so that is how this section concludes. So, next.
Prabhupada is telling so easily, but in practical, even a servant of God.
Easy for easy, na? Because Prabhupada is living that life. So he can say, he lived. It's not that in Prabhupada's life he did not have issues or troubles. And when Prabhupada is writing this purport, then also it's not that everything was going very nicely. So many issues running an institution. ISKCON, going to one temple, facing so many complaints, challenges. I was just sharing today morning, Prabhupada was giving lecture, Hindi lecture in Juhu. So Prabhupada was saying, we have more than 40 temples in US, few temples in Australia, your temple here, your temple there. It's for your benefit only. You are getting so much obstacles in our opening of temple. We have temples all over the world. So Prabhupada is expressing his, compassion on how he is facing so many difficulties. It was for Juhu. I did not mention, but people understand that he was saying, there are so many, they are raising, he was saying for whose benefit we are opening the temple. For people of Bombay only, big cities we have temple. I can go and stay in any city and so much, but why I have to take some trouble? So it's not that Prabhupada is not having externally trouble, but in his heart, he is completely taking shelter and he can say, safest position, the servant of Krishna. So that is the mood of surrender. Now 69 to 80, Narad Muni concludes this whole discussion for last 5 chapters. And in 69 to 74, Narad Muni describes his previous life as Upabharna. So Upabharna, so he mentions from 69. Let's go.
Long ago, in another Mahakalpa, millennium of Brahma, I existed as the Gandharva known as
So Prabhupada is saying Shri Narad Muni is giving a practical example from his previous life. Formerly during the previous lifetime of Lord Brahma, Narad Muni was one of the denizens of Gandharva Loka. But unfortunately, as will be explained, he fell down from his exalted position in Gandharva Loka, where the inhabitants are extremely beautiful and expert in singing, to become a Shudra. Nonetheless, because of his association with devotees, he became more fortunate than he was in Gandharva Loka. Even though cursed by the Prajapatis to become a Shudra, in the next life he became the son of Lord Brahma. So that's the mentioned. Next 17. Okay.
I had a beautiful face. I had a beautiful face. Decorated with flower garments and sandaled with pearls. I was most pleasing to the women of my city. Thus I was bewildered, always feeling this desire.
Rupa Peshala Madhurya Saugandhya Priya Darshan Strinam Priyatamo Nityam Matta Swapura Lampataha. So he is telling about what was his position. I was beautiful. Rupa. Preshara, Madhurya, Saugandhya, Priyadarshana. I was friendly, had a well-built, attractive body. Strinam Priyatamo Nityam, pleasing to the women. Strinam Priyatamo Nityam. Matta Sapura Lampataha. And Lampat, very much attracted to women because of lusty desires. So Prabhupada is saying from this description, first he is saying everyone in Gandharva Loka is very beautiful. So Varna was Narmuni's name previously, was specifically expert in decorating himself to attract the attention of women, and thus he became a playboy, as described in next verse. To be a playboy in this life is unfortunate because too much attraction to women will lead one to fall in association of Shudras who can easily take advantage of mingling with women without restriction. In this present age of Kali, when people are manda sumanda mataya, very bad because of Shudra mentality, such free mingling is prominent. Among the higher classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, there is no chance for any cultural education to be considered Shudra. Ashuddha Shudra Kalpani bad. Thus they manufacture their. Anybody knows the answer? Is Narad Muni not Nitya Siddha? Yes, yes, yes.
He was describing about brother Maharaj. I like Narad Muni because Narad Muni, but at the same time they practices forget Krishna. So they are Nitya Siddha, but it is mentioned partially. Yes, they practice like sadhana and perfect. But always in all circumstances, they never forget Krishna.
Yes. So now listen.
Is the Narguni is the post because in that call is anyone after person was Narguni or there was no Narguni. But in that case he was the Bhagwan, a Gambhir one. So that time is there any Narguni or not?
Yes, true.
And mentioning this of Vishwachakram separate, Srila Prabhupada wrote in his Papa, Kamadwar and Naragunwas mixed. Little
It is and
Vishwachakram mixed. Prabhupada wrote in his Papa.
mixed what? So their mixture of Nitya Siddha and
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
There are two other books. One is Shadaka and another is Nitya. So when Narayana appears in this world, he actually takes his position in the shadow. In this way he continues his life. But there is one Narayana in the spiritual world who is eternally there. Just like Yashoda Maya or Nanda Maharaj, whoever in the Krishna, there are some Shadaka form also who are demigods. But with Krishna, they come from clearly from the spiritual world. But they mix together in one world.
Yeah. Understood? Like in the case of Yashoda and Nanda also, we see in 10th canto it's mentioned that Drona and Dhara are there and they did tapasya and they become Yashoda and Nanda. The question they raised is that so by tapasya one can become Yashoda and Nanda. There Acharya mentioned sometimes there are some sadhakas who also have a desire or by their prayers and so they enter the bodies of Nitya Siddha. So Yashoda and Nanda are Nitya Siddha from spiritual world. But then this Drona and Dhara, they are also entities, living entities as sadhakas, but they enter the bodies of for that pastime. to experience that Dasa. But then there are Nitya Siddhas in the spiritual world also.
So when this Dondala complete first time, then the spiritual form of the Jatana goes back to the solar within the actual position. And what happens to this Dondala living entity? Because they separate and
I have not heard specifically, but I am assuming that they will also get similar service in the spiritual world.
because they attend it.
Yeah, because they had that desire, they experienced it while serving also. They will get similar service in the spiritual world. Serving that so same with, I think, same with yeah, I forgot what it is. Yeah, Prahlad or Maharaj also it's mentioned na, that in his previous birth, Narasimha Chaturdashi then he fasted and then he got birth as Prahlad Maharaj. Something like that is mentioned in Purana. Na? So here Narad is example also. So is it like he's also going through the same kind of situation? But I was saying no, there is the eternal associate with the Siddha.
As a part of first life, they come and do first life.
Yeah, this see
For all the
for some like that day I think if you heard Madhav Palpur's class. So you, actually I read another purport I was reading yesterday, etc. So there also Prabhupada says which is better. Like he was saying which is better. To be in Mahaprabhu's Leela and get prema, or to be now, struggle and then get prema. So then he was saying it's better now. Yeah, because you get prema also and you get the pleasure of struggling for us. When you get this sip, you feel my effort is worth it. So there is pleasure of struggle also. So we get both things. So like Krishna is showing through this example, always is there devotion because of association and things like that. Narada is different and Sadhana Siddha is there are two entities. So Narada is Siddha is also he remains as Siddha and then he gets a chance by similar kind of service. The same body or same yeah, same only. Actually, that Drona and Dharana, in 10th canto, when we will come there, there is clearly mentioned. But Drona Dhara is clearly mentioned.
Another guru was quoting a lecture of Janaka Maharaj. He was telling that sometimes in a show, in one seat, we see that 2-3 friends are sitting in one seat and seeing the show. Similarly, when Krishna's show are going on, at that time, 2-3 persons, one Shadaka, one Nitya, they are sitting on the same body. Working.
Yeah. Possess see, if one understands the inconceivable nature of Krishna, then everything is possible. And basically, and it is in sync with the understanding of your Guru. Otherwise, some of the things will not be answered. How can somebody we are seeing sadhana and Nitya also we are seeing the eternal planet with Prahlad Maharaj very extreme. Narasimha is there. So eternal means a different time. past and in different all purpose, every all. Okay, so text number 71.
Once there was a Sankirtan festival to glorify the Supreme Lord. An assembly of the demigods from the Gandharvas and the Apsaras were invited by the Prajapati to take part in it.
So Hari Gathopagayane. So there was Hari Gandharva Apsaram Gana. So Ekada, once Devasatri in the assembly of demigods, Gandharva Apsara, both were there. Mahuta Vishwa should be. There are all these Vishwas should be, the great demigods, Prajapatis. They were there, and there was a program of Kirtan. Hari Kirtan. Hari Gatha Upagayane. So you can just imagine, we have Kirtan there in the upper planets also, they have Kirtan festival. And you will have, like we have singers, great singers. They will also, they have their sampling of great singers. Can I clear them? Prabhupada says Sankirtan means chanting of the holy name of Lord. The Hare Krishna movement is not a new movement, as people sometimes mistakenly think. The Hare Krishna movement is present in every millennium of Lord Brahma's life. And the holy name is chanted in all the higher planetary systems, including Brahma Loka, Chandra Loka, not to speak of Gandharva and Apsara. So that is the nature of. Sometimes because of bad luck this movement is stopped, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his servants again start the movement for the benefit of entire world, or indeed the entire universe. So, see, Prabhupada never misses an opportunity to convince the readers that this is an eternal process. Because mind is always filled with doubt. Like many times people ask, oh, was Hare Krishna chanting or Sankirtan not existing in Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga? People saying, what is because Dwapar Treta? Every millennium, in all planetary systems, because it's mentioned here, they are also doing Sankirtan in our planetary systems. So they don't have this Treta Dwapar concept, no? Their life span is throughout the, what to speak of, one Yuga cycle, even for 71 Yuga cycle. So it's existing. So one should not doubt. That's how the spiritual master's words, like Prabhupada says, I was reading that Prabhupada saying, just by chanting, you can commit. There should be no doubt about it, and there is no exaggeration in this statement. So sometimes you may feel that okay, Hare Krishna mantra is good, but what we have committed and what we can commit, that also it will eradicate. Prabhupada saying there is no exaggeration in this statement. Faith, their words, money, and their life. So then what did I do? Narad said. Is saying in the next verse.
Narad continued, being invited to that festival, I also joined and surrounded by women. I began musically singing the glories of the demigod. Because the Prajapati, the great demigod, in charge of the affairs of the universe, forcefully called me with his Lord. Because committed an offense, may you immediately become a Sudra, devoid of duty.
So, aham cha gayam stad vidwan. So, I am very vidwan, but rather than singing Hari, the gayams. So, that means person singing the glories of other demigods rather than those of the Lord.
I began musically singing the glory of demigod.
So generally in the world, and this Prabhupada was saying in the previous purport, that therefore there has to be not free mixing. The general tendency is that if there is mixing, then the Chetana gets diluted from absorption in Lord or pleasing to Lord, then pleasing the opposite sex, gender. So one has to be very careful. Like here, Narad Muni was in assembly of other devotees present to glorify the Lord, but because he got absorbed in pleasing others and seeing this, the other Prajapatis, Yahi tam Shudраtam Ashu Nashta Shri Krita Helana. Because you have Krita Helana, you have transgressed the etiquette, Ashu, quickly you should become Shudra. Prabhupada says, as far as Kirtan is concerned, the Shastras say, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. One should chant the glories of Supreme Lord and the holy name of Supreme Lord. This is clearly stated, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. One should chant about and glorify Lord Vishnu, not any demigod. Prabhupada says some foolish people invent glorifying demigod's name. This is an offense. Kirtan means glorifying Supreme Lord, not any demigods. Sometimes people invent Kali Kirtan or Shiva Kirtan, and even big sannyasis in Mayavad school say that one may chant any name and still get the same result. But here we find that millions and millions of years ago, when Narad Muni was Gandharva, he neglected the order to glorify Lord, and being mad in association of women, he began to chant otherwise. Thus he was first to become a Shudra. His first offense was that he went to join the Sankirtan party in company of lusty women. And another offense was that he considered ordinary songs like cinema songs and other such songs to be equal to Sankirtan. For this offense he was punished with becoming a Shudra. So two offenses. First is going in association of lusty women, and second is he is considering ordinary songs on the same level. That we should not have. Yes.
So is the mind that now confidence even we also do Kirtan in the tone of cinema song. So is it right that so many Kirtan imitating the tone means truth?
Yeah.
You understand? So it becomes. So is it so far?
Yes. Anyone has any comments? We are doing unless we have to listen Kriya Dvaita Guru. We just read enough words. So he is refreshed. He says Kriya Dvaita. Okay. Anyone else? Hare Krishna mantra chanting in film song tunes. Some songs are there. That we sing, na? So is that okay?
We singing Kirtan include the film song.
हाँ कुछ फेमस सॉन्ग्स है ना उनका ट्यून रहता है ना उसमें हरे कृष्णा सिंगिंग वी डू ना सो दैट इज ओके और नॉट
At that particular moment or that people that is, but not the definition of that remembering that I, for example, my affair is my whole enjoyment, so that is wrong, and it will not affect the audience also and our purpose. This is what.
Okay. Anyone else? Any comments? We have to get out.
It's always better to follow the Mahaprabhus because their tunes are coming from the spiritual world. But sometimes it happens that in order to gain some popularity or something else, we use such kind of tunes to attract people. Ultimately, we remind about that tune only, that song only. And I was hearing from Gopal Prabhu, he was telling on incidents how he had one song part, and while doing kirtan, that song, that tune comes. And while he was describing this thing, that this Hare Krishna mantra is sang in this way, and the Srivas song is like this. And by hearing this, it continued for a week in my mind. How this tune is connected to that song. Better to follow the Mahadev, especially all the Maharajas, they sing very deeply from only to satisfy the Lord. That is the best.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, any kirtaniyas? No, you can tell that. Yes,
In my opinion, when that picture had some Hare Krishna, what is that? Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, some movie have come. So people have asked Prabhupada, this that Dhammarogam, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.
yeah.
That what is that going to be? That why people are singing that? Is it offense? Then I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know exactly. Then Prabhupada said, no, the song will finish, but Hare Krishna, Hare Ram will remain. So we find sometime even our ISKCON sannyasis has sung Hare Krishna tune in some of the filmy songs earlier. So over a period of a time, say for the what Prabhuji said is right. It will dwindle the thing that old the scenes will go on in your mind for some time. But over a period of a time, those will go on because Hare Krishna mantra is very powerful. It will sustain the new thought process. Number one. Number two, it is not for the elderly, that senior devotee. It is for the kanishta devotees to get attracted to that. To get, because why do our sannyasis in that there are so many tunes available in the world. Why do they select some particular tunes of spiritual? So to attract the kanishta, the people who come into that. So this is got an advantage and disadvantage. How do you want to take it? That depends. And also, if you look at it, Hare Krishna mantra sang in Western tune, in classical tunes, in the Shastriya Sangeet tunes, and multiple tunes. So you need some base to sing the Hare Krishna mantra. Any base it could be. It is a favorite one. See, again, when we see that Hare Krishna mantra, when it is sung in a filmy song, you are suddenly recollecting that song, and you also say that I am doing wrong. I should not think in this way. Let me think let the tune be there, let me think freshly on Hare Krishna. So this is again, it has got advantage, also it has got a disadvantage. Both it is there. How does one take it?
Yes, anything you want to add? Yes, Prabhu.
I'm just remembering a past time of regarding to Dhammarogam. So when it will be released,
Yeah.
so Krishna Maharaj attempts to very catch and he came to ask to Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, you did.
Then Srila Prabhupada told, no, it will 10 years of Srila Prabhupada's demise, he made a young boy and he will be going. I was inspired by this. When I heard the same of the Hare Krishna devotees, then I joined the Krishna.
So this question was asked to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And what reply he gave. What I heard from him. So Maharaj said that all music actually comes from ragas. So even when you sing, you may have heard that Pilpi song on that raga. Singing that is Pilpi song. But base of all music is raga. We are clear. So there, if you go to any they were trained in all this music, ragas, classical, this and that. And Maharaj said these ragas were made for what purpose? To glorify God only. To Even if you go 50 years, 100 years back, all the music, even in films, songs or something, they famous in India. She was very famous, and she was like, I don't know much, but I think that most of the music or this, but they are ragas. And that ragas are meant to glorify or to sing Lord's name. So Maharaj said, I may be singing also, but I don't know those filmy songs. You may Bollywood song or something. I know it is a raga which is glorified. If so, but Maharaj added, if by hearing that you are reminded of that, then you can be careful. But ultimately, all songs and music is based on ragas only. And ragas are meant to glorify the Lord only. To do kirtan.
Alphabets are to glorify the
Lord only. So there is nothing wrong in that. It's because of our conditioning that we are remembering. But even those Bollywood songs, the bass is some raga only. Otherwise, they will not be attractive or in tune with Lakshmi, the combination. They are all trained in all ragas and this. They will singing Bollywood songs or something, but they are singing ragas which were meant for that
what others cannot be, we will be better. We will never.
So Maharaj never mentioned about oh, to attract, you have to sing that, you know something. That may be there, but then you see
Is the right or wrong?
it is, we have to go to the root. The root is all ragas are actually meant or made or some ordained or some system.
Although I could birth the should joy, consequently in this life I got this opportunity to take birth of the son of Lord Brahma.
So he's telling the first canto where I became Shudrasan, and then because of association of devotees, I got this position. Prabhupada is again quoting Striyo Vaishyas Tada Shudra. It doesn't matter whether the person is born Shudra, woman or Vaishya. If he associates with devotees repeatedly doing this in relation to his own life, if one has known Krishna or his devotee, then his life is successful. Text number 74.
The process of chanting the origin of the Lord is so powerful that it is now
which destroys sin, papa nashana. The process according to, like this is very very common. Like even in this, like when I take online sessions or any, I ask this question. So you think brahmacharis are better? Generally, they will say, yeah, it's very. But then, proper understanding is, as is mentioned here, it's not about extremes. One may be brahmachari. They can be social respect for their position of brahmachari sannyasi is good for them. We can grow the whole. This is how what varnashram. Grasta, sannyasis, they are supposed to be. So here, that point is important. But even householders, some people say our name is Yadav. We are from Yadav Kul. Krishna's Kul only. I have heard some people they come from their Yadavs, Bihar and that side, Uttar Pradesh. So they say we are Yadavas. But from that Kul, Krishna's Kul only. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's also good. At least they are connected. Son is Supreme Personality of God. Matlab, he knew, but here Narad Muni is again reiterating and confirming. Narad Muni is confirmed.
Again, we started. Any number of times we hear